But what means more to us than any honor, the record-breaking settlements we win for our clients year after year. If you've been hurt in a car accident, just call us. We'll fight to get you the settlement you deserve. Michigan Auto Law. People over everything. Visit autolaw.com.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
Good morning, 6:05. Good to have you here on a Wednesday.
Hump Day.
Middle of the week.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Hump Day.
And we got a lot to talk about. Primaries all across the country yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get to it a little later on,
yes,
because I think it's pretty interesting. Meanwhile, the case involving Lynette Hooker, the woman from Onstead, down towards the Ohio border, southern Michigan, who went missing in the Bahamas, that case has shifted.
It has. Authorities have reopened the search for the missing woman who disappeared while boating in the Bahamas after new information raised serious questions about what happened on the water. Lynette Hooker vanished in early April while sailing with her husband, Brian Hooker. He told investigators she fell overboard and was swept out to sea, and said that he had to paddle to shore after she went into the water because she had the boat's key. Brian Hooker was briefly taken into custody in the Bahamas following the disappearance, but was later released and returned here to Michigan. Now, investigators say new cell phone location data appears to contradict his account and may indicate search efforts were directed to the wrong area. That new evidence has prompted the U.S. Coast Guard to reopen the search for Lynette Hooker as the investigation continues. Also, federal investigators have charged a former procurement director for Detroit's People Mover and a local business owner in an alleged scheme to defraud the transit system out of more than $300,000. Now, according to the FBI, former Detroit Transportation Corporation employee Michael Anderson and Total Care Restoration owner Terrence Parker conspired to submit and approve invoices for work that was never performed between 2023 and 2025. Investigators allege the restoration company received nearly $305,000 for information technology work despite having no known IT experience, no contract with the People Mover, and no record of performing the services bill. Federal agents say phone records, emails, bank transactions, and cash withdrawals point to a coordinated fraud scheme. Both men now face conspiracy and federal program theft or bribery charges. The allegations remain accusations, and both presumed innocent unless proven guilty in court.
Two NIH-affiliated scientists are facing federal charges after allegedly smuggling biological material, including monkeypox samples, into the United States through
Detroit Metro
Airport. Two researchers arrived at DTW in January. We remember that, after traveling from the Republic of Congo, where there was an active monkeypox outbreak.
That's
where
right.
There's also the Ebola outbreak currently.
Yeah, exactly.
They were stopped by customs officials while carrying a large black case. They claimed it was testing equipment. Then they found these 113 vials of biological material, 17 vials with deactivated monkeypox viruses, 1 vial with chickenpox virus, and 2 vials with human DNA. They're charged with conspiracy to smuggle biological materials, making false statements to federal agents, and could face up to 5 years of prison. But this is a serious breach of trust.
A serious breach
for scientists involved in the National Institute of Health.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes.
That's not a good thing.
Scary stuff. Did you see the news about 60 Minutes over the last couple of days? I have. Well, they fired Scott Pelley. And you think, what? How? Well, they have a new executive producer that has come in.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of, I don't know, hurt feelings over at 60 Minutes. CBS under Bari Weiss, the head of CBS News now, there are many people that are unhappy with the direction of CBS.
Yeah.
Inside.
Payout.
Inside. Not even just outside.
Right.
Inside, people are unhappy with the direction of CBS, and particularly with 60 Minutes. Well, there was this meeting when this new executive producer came over, and basically everybody laughed at this guy. They didn't think he was qualified, yada, yada. Well, Scott Pelley was the most vocal member of the 60 Minutes team, was basically ripping into this guy.
Yeah.
His boss.
Yeah.
Was ripping into him.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, I guess I don't know exactly as a result, but part of the reason why Scott Pelley was fired, at least according to Nick Bilton, the new executive producer, was this outbreak that he had in this team meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now Scott Pelley's out at 60 Minutes. I some of the feedback I've seen on this has been, how could you? CBS is, they're going down the wrong path. Yeah. In no way, shape, or form would you, me, Lloyd, anybody be able to walk into a giant meeting of your entire team
Yes.
at work
Mm-hmm.
and then unload on your boss and then expect it to be business as usual.
No, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Now, you can, I appreciate Scott Pelley sticking up for the people of 60 Minutes.
Yeah, but it's a way to do.
Whatever their perspective is.
It's a way to do it.
Right? He's the leader. God bless.
Sure.
Do your thing. But that kind of insubordination, I don't know how you look past that. And I think that's one of the things Nick Bilton wasn't able to look past.
Well, Bilton addressed this, when he sent this termination letter to Pelley. And in the letter, it said, "Yesterday, you hijacked my first meeting with staff to disparage me, my qualifications, my intentions with remarkable incivility and contempt. Yesterday's performative display of hostility enacted in front of the staff instead of in a civil, private conversation demonstrated that you have no interest in contributing to the future success of the show or approaching my new tenure with an open mind to collaboration and progress."
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Hey. What do you say?
Now you can make the argument that Scott Pelley was got after, whatever political shakeups are happening at CBS.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I have no problem with that if that's how you feel. But, just look at the facts of the matter.
Just if that, that's what happened. That's what Bilton said happened. You yourself could not go in and do the same thing to your bosses. You just couldn't.
Correct. Meanwhile, Bill Pulte is Donald Trump's new director of national intelligence.
Well, okay.
I don't know. He's obviously got ties to Michigan. I think it's interesting there.
Yeah.
I don't know what qualifications he has, but he has been certainly a steady hand next to Donald Trump.
He has been
throughout this second term. I don't know really how this is going to work, but hey, let's see how it goes.
Let's just see. Just wait and see.
Why not? Let's just see how it goes. How about those Tigers yesterday?
That's 2 in a row.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Play
right,
one more time. One more time.
That's 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Now one more.
They have scored 18 runs in 2 days. What is happening?
What is going on with these Tigers?
I don't know, but I'm on board. They win yesterday 8-0. Yes, Jason? He grabbed that microphone very quickly.
Jack Flaherty in his last 4 starts.
Uh-huh.
A 4.50 ERA.
Uh-huh.
26 strikeouts, only 3 walks.
Uh-huh.
So he's kind of found a little groove here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And look what happens when you score runs.
How about that?
Hello? Yeah.
Look, I'm very happy. It was funny. We were at Henry's T-ball game last night as this started. Okay. Also, a 7:00 for, T-ball start time for these 3 and 4 year olds.
Right.
Okay. Seems kind of late. It's kind of late for me, but certainly seems kind of late for them. Whatever.
Should be brushing your teeth at that time.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm like, it's pajama time.
Yes.
We're not supposed to be playing right now. But we're watching the Tiger game, in between innings. And I'm like, 2-0, 4-0. I'm like, boy, this one's gonna hurt if they come back to lose this one.
Right.
But they win.
Exactly what I thought too.
Yeah,
but please don't blow this one.
Yeah, I know that's right.
They win 8-0, and they go back at it against Tampa Bay today. 1:10 first pitch down in Florida. Coming up on the other side, Stephen Moore is going to join us. We're talking what the new head of the Fed is looking at when it comes to inflation. What are some of the outliers when it comes to some of the decisions that those governors are making? It's next on JR Morning.
This is Perry Johnson, the Trump conservative for governor. I'm an outsider businessman, not a career politician. I spent my life bringing quality and efficiency to over 60,000 companies. In fact, they call me the quality guru. My first priority as governor will be my mega audit, the Michigan Efficiency Government Audit, that will find the fraud in state government and Jocelyn Benson's election office and eliminate it. By implementing my mega audit, we will save the taxpayers millions and return it to you with my 4747 income tax elimination plan and property tax reform. My Perry Johnson 4747 plan will put $4,747 in your pocket every year. And seniors deserve a better deal on property taxes. This message paid for by Perry Johnson for governor. And I approve this message so that we can finally bring quality and efficiency to state government.
Perry's on a mission, he's here to stay. Perry Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand.
Hey, boomers, listen up. Jim Harper here with a word about Cruise Hearing Aid Service. If you're experiencing ringing in your ears, maybe just a muffled sound, or you think you just can't hear as well as you used to, go to Cruise Hearing Aid Service and start at the beginning. It may be as simple as waxy buildup. They can remove that painlessly for $50. And then you can get a free hearing screening test to see if you do have some hearing loss. If that's the case, Felix Cruz and his wonderful staff can use their high-tech equipment to determine what kind of hearing aid is right for you. And the good news is today's technology makes hearing aids almost invisible. Cruz Hearing Aid Service has 3 locations, Farmington Hills, Taylor, and Waterford, and at cruzhearing.com. Call them at 877-456-CRUISE and make an appointment. That's 877-456-CRU. Cruz Hearing Aid Service. They're good people, and they want to help you.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
The wait is over. Patio season is officially here at Doyle's Irish Pub at St. John's Resort in Plymouth. Enjoy an ice-cold pint, delicious Irish comfort food, and the perfect outdoor atmosphere. Whether you're grabbing a drink before your 18 holes on the Cardinal or meeting up with friends, there's no better place to enjoy the warmer weather. Our patio bar is open for the season, so come see us at Doyle's.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. Thousands of homeowners have trusted us for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
Couple of crashes on the roads this morning. The westbound 96 off-ramp to Wixom Road closed due to an accident. Westbound 94 after Van Dyke, that crash is off to the right shoulder. Also, eastbound 94 between Little Mac and Harper, you're going to find the left lane closed for construction. That's in place until 7 p.m. on Friday. Now, WJR Weather First, Friendly Weather Channel, sponsored by Lombardo Apartments. Searching for a luxury 2- or 3-bedroom townhome? Kirkway Apartments in Washington Township features beautiful luxury townhomes designed for comfort, convenience, and style. Visit KirkwayApartments.com for more information on their specials, including up to 1 month free rent on a new lease. Here's your forecast.
Good looking rest of the week. High pressure will remain locked in. Temperatures are going to get a little hotter with that southerly flow working in, close to 90 by Thursday and Friday. Good looking morning this morning. Plenty of clear sky, blue sky. Later, 85, average high, 76. Tonight, mainly clear, close to 60, 50s in the suburbs. Sunny tomorrow, close to 90 with a little breeze out of the southwest. Friday, some more clouds come in, still some sun near 90. Showers later Friday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
The Dan Bongino Show.
It's our movement, okay? It's ours. We built it.
Hard truths.
There are a bunch of people out there pulling you into an information vortex, dumping the dead pig in the well, hoping you jump in. Don't jump in the well. It's a trap. Find a way out immediately. This is the nothing is happening trap. And it is an inverted sense of reality. If we don't correct it and your kids believe it, I'm sorry, this show's for nothing.
The Dan Bongino Show.
There's only one choice, man.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk, the WJR Pure Michigan Golf Tour continues as we travel to Boyne Highlands Resort, where we'll play the challenging course, The Hills, at Country Club of Boyne, and we'll show you how the game of golf is making a massive economic impact for the Great Lakes State. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
So out goes Jerome Powell, in comes Kevin Warsh, and there's a interesting piece out of the Wall Street Journal. Kevin Warsh wants the Fed to think differently about how it measures inflation. Instead of just relying on the PCE index. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But he wants to look at it differently, put more weight on trimmed inflation measures. It would remove extreme price spikes like sudden jumps in energy or food prices. And it would focus on underlying long-term trends instead of, these short kind of one-time shocks into what they're looking at. Is that the way to approach this? And is it going to be beneficial when it comes to how they measure what the rates need to be? Stephen Moore, the former senior visiting fellow of economics at the Heritage Foundation, former economics advisor to Donald Trump, joins us. Stephen, it's good to have you back.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
What do you make of the way Kevin Warsh is addressing inflation, how he wants the Fed to think about it?
Well, first of all, the purpose of the Fed and the purpose of a monetary system and a currency is so that your currency can retain its value over time. And if you have wild swings in inflation, like a peso, nobody's going to use the currency. So we are blessed as Americans because the dollar is the world reserve currency. In other words, almost every major financial transaction throughout the globe is done in dollars because people trust the value of the dollar that it's not going to take these wild swings. Although the good news is that one of the worst Fed chairmen in modern times, Jerome Powell, is finally gone. He's the one who let inflation go up to 9%, swing up and down and up and down. Kevin Warsh is an outstanding choice. He is going to be an inflation hawk. He's going to bring that inflation number back down to below 2% and hopefully closer to zero. We're going to see hopefully the inflation rate for groceries and for gasoline and other things come down, which will benefit the American economy and American shoppers.
Stephen, historically, the Fed relies most heavily on the PCE index, which is still running close to about 3.8%. The policymakers start
running close to what?
3.8.
3.8. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
So if policymakers, start leaning more on lower adjusted measures, does that risk a false sense that inflation is under control?
That's a great question. I mean, the question you're asking sort of is, what measure do we use for prices? We use core inflation, which excludes energy and food. By the way, I have to say, as an economist, I've been doing this for 40 years. I never understood the whole idea of core inflation. I mean, to exclude food and energy, look, that's what we spend our money on.
Right.
Why would you take that out of the equation? Here's what I think. What I think that Kevin Warsh will do and should do, and this is something that Art Laffer and Pete Forbes and I and others have all endorsed, which is to use what's called a price rule. In other words, look at what is happening right now. I'm talking to you on my cell phone. Right now I can go through something called the CRB index, and it will show you in real time what is happening with the price of gold, what is happening with the price of wheat, what's happening with the price of copper, what's happening with the price of coal. All 35 major commodities in real time. It will show you whether those numbers are going up and down. That's what Kevin Warsh should be looking at, because it changes every minute, and it shows you what's happening to the direction of those commodities. And by the way, if commodity prices go up, if the price of wheat and gas goes up, what's going to happen to the price of things that you buy at the store? going to go up as well. So I guess what I'm saying is we've got to take the discretion away from the Fed and just follow a rule. Everybody knows what the rule is, and if the commodity prices are rising too quickly, it's time to lower the amount of money supply. And if prices are starting to fall, because deflation can be a bad thing too, you want to put more money into the economy, and that would be a system that would work quite well. And I think that's exactly what Kevin Warsh would do.
All right. Well, there are some out there that are saying, well, Warsh is just going to move the goalpost. There's even the signal that he may move away from that 2% number and just focus on whether or not inflation is consistently stable and not necessarily worry that it's 2% or not. Is that an arbitrary number? Is he moving the goalpost to find whatever looks best?
I think he wants for inflation to close to zero. By the way, the reason
Cosign. I agree.
Yeah. So, look, the reason that we have a 2% target is that there is one thing which leads to inflation. You know what that is? Deflation. In fact, in the Great Depression, the worst decade, perhaps ever for the U.S. economy, we actually had prices were falling, not rising. So farmers couldn't make any money. So the reason we have a 2% target is so we don't go below zero. But look, Kevin Warsh, here's the good news. Kevin Warsh is going to be one of the most outstanding Fed chairmen we've ever had. I think he'll be another Alan Greenspan. Remember, Greenspan was absolutely fantastic. We had the big boom in the 90s. And we're going to have a stable dollar, and we're going to retain the dollars. You've heard of BRICS? You guys heard of that? That's the idea. Brazil, Russia, India, China are going to have by the way, it's the stupidest idea. Why would anybody trust, China, Russia, Brazil over the United States currency? It's never going to happen. But the point is that we want to make sure the dollar remains strong and stable. That will happen. And when that happens, it will benefit all Americans. And we'll see. And look, the news, by the way, in the economy over the last several weeks has been amazingly positive. We're seeing record amounts of investment by businesses. The GDP numbers are 3 to 4%. I know people are angry about food and gas prices, but you look at how about the stock market? My God, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones are at record highs today. We all own 401k plans, or most of us do, so we all benefit from a rising stock market. We're the country. We're the only country in the world that's growing. Once we get that oil price back down to below $70 a barrel, I think we're going to see the biggest boom you ever saw.
And before we go, if inflation is still hovering closer to 3% than 2%, Stephen, what does that mean for interest rates in 2026? Are markets getting ahead of themselves and expecting cuts?
But when you said when what is it, 3%?
Inflation rate is closer to 3 than 2.
Yeah. Well, that's a very good point. Again, you get an A in economics today, my friend. So, if the inflation is above 3%, then the Fed cannot be lowering the federal funds rate, because that would push more money into the economy. And what did Milton Friedman teach us? What is inflation? It's too many dollars chasing too few goods. So that's why I don't think right out of the gate you're going to see Kevin Warsh, even though Trump wants him to do it. I don't think now is the right time to be cutting interest rates, because we still have, as you said, inflation is running at 3.5 to 4%. I don't want to be flushing more money into an economy when you've got inflation at that level. If we get the inflation rate down to 2%, then maybe we can start cutting those rates. But remember, by the way, one last thing I know on the way out. The government does not control the interest rate. That's this mythology out there. The interest rate is determined by the market, the demand and the supply of money, and that's what sets interest rates, not some wizard behind the curtain in Washington.
Even more, we appreciate you as always. We'll talk again very soon. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thanks. Have a great week.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right?
Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Steve Courtney here, inviting you to support Sparky Anderson's Catch Charity for Children. Our 39th annual Catch Golf Classic, presented by the Greater Detroit Toyota dealers, takes place at the beautiful Red Run Golf Club on Monday, July 20th. Only a limited number of sponsorships are still available for golf, but our online auction featuring trips, golf packages, and sports memorabilia is available to anyone wishing to participate or to make a donation. For information on the Catch Golf Classic or how to participate in our online auction, please visit catchcharity.org.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. California officials still counting votes in those primary races. Republican gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton.
I'm here to fight for you and to help you to have that chance at following your dream, whatever it is.
And Democrat Javier Becerra.
As your governor, I am ready to lead the fight to uphold California's promise.
Are leading an unofficial early returns. Meanwhile,
incumbent Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has advanced to a November runoff after failing to capture 51% of the votes needed to win outright. She could face Republican reality TV star Spencer Pratt.
That's Fox's Sue Cousin. Pratt looking to hold on to second place. Democrat Nithya Raman has not conceded yet. Republican Congressman Ashley Henson, trouncing her opponent, will run for the open U.S. Senate seat in November against Democrat Josh Turek, who defeated Zach Walz. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. Thousands of homeowners have trusted us for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
The westbound 96 off-ramp to Wixom Road remains closed right now due to an accident. Southbound 75, the off-ramp to northbound 275 is closed, but that's for construction, and that's expected to wrap up at 9 p.m. this evening. Eastbound 94 between Little Mac and Harper, left lane closed there till 7 p.m. Friday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Colony Marine. Take the party anywhere. That's a pontoon lifestyle. Crest delivers premium luxury, unbeatable comfort, and the toughness to handle it all. Michigan made and built to last. Get your new Crest pontoon at Colony Marine today in St. Clair Shores or Oakland County. Sunshine today with a high of 82. Right now it's 55. Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 58. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow, high of 87. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey, gang, Jim Harper here with a little trivia for you. Did you know that 30 years ago, the average age for hearing loss was 73? You know what it is today? It's 50. Yep, that means us boomers. But the good news is Cruise Hearing Aid Service can really make your life better. It starts with a free hearing screening test. It might just be waxy buildup, which they can remove painlessly for only $50. If you do have some hearing loss, Felix Cruz and his kind staff can help you dial in a new hearing aid that's almost unnoticeable. Their technology is state-of-the-art, and their care is old school, warm, and friendly. Cruz Hearing has 3 locations, Farmington Hills, Taylor, and Waterford, and cruisehearing.com. After all those years of rock and roll, we shouldn't be surprised about hearing loss. Call Cruz Hearing Aid Service and start getting your wonderful life back. 877-456-CRUISE. That's 877-456-CRUZ. Cruise Hearing Aid Service.
Texting privacy policy and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message rates may apply. Reply to opt out. Consult prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing? I'm sure you started with Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications. Well, I found this great company called Healthy. Providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online. I can get GLP-1 medication for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy? Yes. Healthy can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less. They ship directly to your door. How do I get started with something? Just send them a text.
Now, 797-979. Get started today with Selfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic for 80 to 90%
less. 100% online. Don't wait to text now to 797979 for a lengthier exclusive offer. Text now to 797979. That's now to 797979.
The products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do, but new meth prescribed.
Internet prices, can be right. Then tap GoodRx and solve a life.
She can get a deal, but telehealth feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloads it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Stay here for All Talk with Kevin Dietz at 9. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
It's always good to go into a sneezing fit.
Oh, yeah.
As you're about to go on the air. It's a lot of fun, especially when you're about to talk about this story. I can't get enough of this.
It's just odd, man. It really is.
So one of the bodies of the 11 mysteriously missing persons that had been tied to either U.S. nuclear secrets or rocket technology, one of them has been discovered by a hiker in New Mexico. 54-year-old Melissa Casillas was a missing person who was working at the Los Alamos National Laboratory. And, of course, the Los Alamos National Laboratory, a renowned institution, facility, tied to the Manhattan Project, obviously.
Yep.
But what is going on with these missing scientists? Where, in her case, her family found her purse, her cell phone, her identification that was left behind, and she was gone. So her family was obviously very concerned about what had happened here. But now her body has been found, and a rejuvenation into where these people are, what happened, and back in April, Kash Patel, the FBI director, said that they were investigating recent unconfirmed public reporting that alleged people connected to U.S. nuclear secrets or rocket technology had died or vanished in recent years. James Comey, the chair of the House Oversight Committee, saying that this raises questions about possible sinister connections between these deaths and disappearances. So the federal government is hip to this now. But what is actually going on, and what is part of the investigative process? Daniel Roberts, the former FBI assistant director, joins us this morning to talk about it. Daniel, good morning. It's good to have you back.
Hey, good morning. Good to be with you.
So when Kash Patel says they're looking into this, they're investigating it, James Comer with the Oversight Committee is saying that as well. What does that mean exactly? How are they investigating these missing cases? These go back a few years in some cases.
They do go back a few years, and there are several different institutions involved. So it's not just at Los Alamos. These missing or dead nuclear scientists are not from the same institution. So I'm sure the Bureau is looking for connections or links between any of these scientific researchers with each other, whether they're even working on the same types of atomic weapon systems or not, whether there's any connection whatsoever with the people that they deal with. And that's pretty standard and common for the FBI to do stuff like that. They can certainly do a link analysis and find out if there's any connection whatsoever between these people and those that they may have in common. But, keep in mind at this point that it's really an online conspiracy theory story, and there's been no connection that anybody has found to these mysterious missing people or dead people in some cases, like poor Miss Cassius. But at this point, there's no link between them, but they're looking into it just because of how many are involved.
Daniel, the remains of Melissa Casillas, they were found a year. She had been missing for a year. How significant is it that a handgun was reportedly found beside her remains. And what questions does that immediately raise for investigators?
Well, it certainly, that it's one of the first things that you think of is that possibly it's a suicide if it was found right next to the body. She was in a remote location in a national forest. She was found by a hiker. So one would think that the initial reaction from law enforcement is going to be, well, this is possibly a suicide situation. They'll look at gun tracing and find out whose gun that was, find out where it was registered, who bought it, who used it, things like that. That will be done immediately. And then, of course, they're going to have to wait for the autopsy to see exactly what was happening there how she died.
Yeah, and you're right. These are not all connected cases. Obviously, there were two that worked at Los Alamos, including Melissa Cassius. Then you had two that were affiliated with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The MIT scientist who was working on nuclear fusion was shot by the Brown University shooter. And so they're not all directly connected, but it is odd that so many of these people that are working in this technology have gone missing. So even after all of that, and to Lloyd's point, the fact that she went missing in June of last year, and they just discovered her now. So what pieces are they putting together to try to find out if there is a connection or not?
Well, I think it starts with their current or what their last assignments were. So if they were all working on the same type of project, the same type of atomic weapon systems or some kind of nuclear research together, even though they may have been spread out across the country, maybe they were working on the same type of research. That has to be investigated first. However, some of them I understand are not even scientists. One of them was kind of an administrative assistant type of thing. So while most of them were super highly educated people involved in nuclear research, some of them were not. So this could very well just be random death investigations that are not connected at all, or missing person investigations that are not connected at all. But it's worth a check, and it's worth the FBI to do a deep dive into their social media, into their work history, talk to a number of their coworkers and find out if there's any connection, any threats that's been received by the Department of Energy, where most of them work, or DOE facilities. Some are researchers at universities, but a lot of the DOE facilities would know if there have been threats against them or against their employees, and start certainly at those locations first and then work outward from there. The family might have some great insight in terms of that if they came home from work and said, hey, I'm receiving threats, or those types of things. So a lot of footwork has to be done by the FBI, both on the computer systems as well as just out and out interviews and background on all of these individuals.
Daniel, do you know if there been any historical examples where like a series of seemingly unrelated incidents eventually turned out to be connected? I mean, and what lessons could investigators learn from those cases?
A lot of times we in the FBI have a National Center for Analysis of Violent Crime. It's in Quantico, Virginia, and they study a lot of homicides across the country. There have been links before for serial killers, for example, where serial killers have worked, across the country and involved in that. So there have been links before for missing people. Not that I can recall, missing people with this type of background nuclear scientists. I have not heard that before, but there have certainly been those that have been investigated for homicide across the country that are linked together.
We just have 30 seconds left here. Does the Bureau investigate when there's great public interest in something? Like, does that sway their opinion on a particular case, or in this case, cases that people feel like there might be something funny going on here? Does that sway their investigative process?
I would say a couple of things on that. First of all, this one came as a referral from congressional committees, so they're pretty much obligated to follow those committees' recommendations and take a look at it. But there also has to be some investigative jurisdiction for the FBI to be involved. In the case of Ms. Cassius, who was just recently found deceased, she was in a national forest. So that technically falls under the FBI. Any sort of federal government lands where crime has occurred would give the FBI jurisdiction to investigate.
Got it.
Also, any sort of crime at Department of Energy facilities, for example, would fall. So it certainly would be something that the FBI could do and is doing based on Director Patel's comments.
Daniel Roberts, always appreciate the insight. Good stuff. Thank you, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, good talking to you.
Yeah, you got it. Michigan drivers facing soaring car costs, insurance payments are going up and up and up, and even new used cars are more expensive.
Yes.
So what's behind it, and what can you look out for? We'll talk about it on the other side. It's JR Morning.
Lenny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Probate is bad. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's completely public. But the good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation and learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. 248-435-0400 or go to EPLSPC.com, 248-435-0400.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Like many of you, I got LASIK surgery back in the 80s, and recently I started having trouble seeing, and it turns out they never told us LASIK doesn't last forever. So now what? Glasses? I haven't worn glasses in years, and I'm as vain as the next person. But then I remembered Mariana and the staff at Direct Optical Optique and how great they were at finding cool frames that look good on me, because they are frame stylists. You can't get that on the web or a big box store, and nobody has a bigger selection of designer frames than Direct Optical Optique. And Mariana still knows everybody by name. She's still selling cool glasses, one pair at a time with a very personal touch. So if you wear glasses now or are wearing them again, you got to go to Direct Optical Optique and let them treat you like a star. They're the only ones who can do that. 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to IKEA. OptiqueDetroit.com on the web.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. Thousands of homeowners have trusted us for their blinds that are easy to order, affordable, and guaranteed to fit. You measure at home, install yourself, and enjoy blinds made exactly for your windows. Blindster.com.
The westbound 96 off-ramp to Wixom Road remains closed due to an accident. It is in the clearing stages, so it should be wrapping shortly. Southbound 75 off-ramp to northbound 275 closed. That's in place until 9 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Paramount Roofing. Need a new roof without the stress? Paramount Roofing makes it easy. Get an instant free roof quote right now at weareroofing.com. Built to last and back for life with no money down and 5 years, 0% interest. Residential or commercial, experience roofing the easy way. Paramount Roofing, a 5-star roofing experience made easy. Here's your forecast.
Good news, some rain, none for the rest of the week until maybe Friday night. Rainfall deficit for the year, 3.23 inches. No rain without any clouds, right? Don't see any today. Lots of sunshine, 85. Tonight, mainly clear. Up a couple to the upper 50s to about 60 in town. Suburbs a bit cooler. Thursday, mostly sunny, breezy, 90. Friday, partial sun, 90, with showers coming in probably after midnight Friday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Well, the case of Lynette Hooker has also taken a turn as well. She went missing after falling overboard a small boat in the Bahamas with her husband, and now that investigation has shifted.
Yeah, authorities had arrested. Well, they had, took into custody her husband, Brian Hooker, in the Bahamas following her disappearance. Now he said that she fell overboard when they were out sailing. It was swept out to sea. Said he had to paddle to shore after she went into the water because she had the boat's key. Well, investigators are saying some cell phone location data appears to contradict his account and may indicate search efforts were directed to the wrong area. So this new evidence has prompted the U.S. Coast Guard to reopen the search for Lynette Hooker, and that investigation continues.
And being looked at as a murder case.
Yeah.
Now,
and I always felt that something was a little off about this case. I mean, just from the beginning, I just felt something just wasn't quite kosher.
Well, I think that's always going to be the case when there's, two people out on their own.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what happened, right?
Yep.
But then, you started hearing a little bit of their backstory and kind of the volatile relationship that they had.
Yes.
And I'm with you. Something just didn't.
Yeah.
All the puzzle pieces weren't lining up correctly.
No.
And so now that investigation has shifted, and there's been a lot of work being done because, right, you're right. They took him into custody and they let him go.
They let him
and
go.
He came back
and
to
he
the
came
United
back
States.
here.
Yeah.
Because
So-
he had said when he came back here that he was going to end up going back to the Bahamas because he was going to continue searching until he found his wife.
Correct.
But he never went.
But yes, something just isn't quite adding up on that front.
Math ain't mathin'.
No. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has signed a new executive order designed to give the U.S. government an early look at the most powerful AI systems before they're released to the public. It targets OpenAI, Google, Anthropic to voluntarily share advanced AI models with the government up to 30 days before the launch. The goal is to identify if there are security risks,
okay,
especially cyber threats.
Sure.
Before the public has access to these tools.
Mm-hmm.
And these models are just getting better and better and better. And, Anthropic is filing their IPO.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which is a huge step.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, you're going from investors to then going public. It's a different beast.
It's a whole different ball game. And so the government says, well, they'll be able to find weaknesses or exploit the weaknesses of these systems
before they can be taken advantage of by hackers or by, bad actors, foreign adversaries, things like that. So it's interesting. Generally, I don't like the government to get involved in issues. But I do believe there needs to be some sort of oversight. Now, is 30 days enough to review a system and say this is bulletproof enough that the public has the ability to go out and use this new powerful tool? I don't know. It doesn't seem like that long.
No, it doesn't. And depending on who's looking at it and, what they can do, I mean, that 30 days doesn't seem like a very long time.
No. And again, as somebody who, like me, if you're a bit pessimistic on artificial intelligence, the only thing you got to remember is it's not going anywhere.
Oh, no.
So, you can be skeptical. You can be, you can welcome it with arms wide open. Shout out Creed.
It's like the World Wide Web, man. It's the internet came.
No, there's no doubt. I was reading a story a couple of months ago, and it was about it was comparing artificial intelligence to the .com boom.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, you go back in time then, businesses were like the World Wide Web. That's crazy.
I remember those days. Yes.
I mean, people were talking about email and how you could actually just electronically send something over, and people are like, we have faxes. What do we need that for?
Exactly. No,
right?
All of that is true.
So it's always in hindsight. You go, well, that was a huge miscalculation. That was not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
And I think there's an element of that here too. So for somebody like me who goes, well, hey, hang on, there's a lot of great that is going to come of this.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, there is going to be some sort of fallout. It seems. Maybe not. Yeah. Maybe all of us that are out there saying, well, there's going to be a huge loss of jobs and it's going to change the way we fundamentally think about and go about a lot of different tasks and ideas and thoughts and artistically and creativity and all those things.
And tomorrow, just so you know, we do have a woman who is the president and policy director for the Center for AI and Digital Policy.
Great.
She's a U of M professor. She's in Paris right now at a conference called Human Flourishing in the Age of AI. And she said, I would love to talk about this with you guys tomorrow morning.
And I think it's an important topic because because much like the worries around electric vehicles, right? Mm-hmm. The infrastructure, the range anxiety, they never went away. And so if we want to tackle these issues, you got to talk about it.
Hey, did we learn that up at Mackinac?
We did. It is one of the things I learned. Yes. So, you got to talk about these issues because there is a level of misinformation, not maybe misinformation, but just not understanding things the way that they are. Right. So I think that's it. I'm glad we're going to talk to her tomorrow because it's going to be pretty valuable. Meanwhile, car costs are just going up and up and
Crazy.
up. Well, the average cost of a car payment these days is what?
About
almost $1,000.
$1,000 is the average.
It's absolutely crazy. And we got to try to bring these prices down. And you see what some of these foreign automakers are selling their cars for in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
It's very low. 7 o'clock hour coming up. Lots to talk about. Caught up on the latest headlines. Also, more FIFA.
As little as $70 a month, or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
WJR, Detroit.
The Iran situation is rapidly evolving. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump just told the New York Post's Podforce One podcast, adding it will be very good as talks continue trying to work out a deal to end the conflict. The president also says Iran's supreme leader is involved.
He is giving approval.
And he says the two of them will likely meet at some point.
We seem to be getting along quite well.
This is the U.S. and Iran skirmish again.
Overnight, Iran attacked both Kuwait and Bahrain with drones and missiles. We know several people were injured and significant damage was caused to Kuwait's international airport. CENTCOM released a statement saying that an additional wave of Iranian drones attempting to attack U.S. forces in Kuwait failed to impact intended targets tonight. U.S. Central Command Air Defenses successfully downed multiple drones and ensured no American personnel or assets were harmed. The Iranian attacks were in response to U.S. strikes that targeted Keshem Island in the Persian Gulf.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Now to California's primaries.
Everyone can see we're going in the wrong direction. We can offer Californians a new direction.
Republican Steve Hilton is in the lead in the race for governor. The votes keep being counted. Democrat Javier Becerra is in second place.
There are powerful forces aligned to darken our light.
The top two in the voting will face off in November. In Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass has advanced to the November election.
We want to bring change to our city, and that's what we've been doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
They are still counting the votes, but reality star Spencer Pratt is strongly in second place. The top two will advance.
I was going to be happy if I wasn't moving forward because I would have known God didn't want me to be the mayor. But now I feel very confident that I'm going to continue to work hard.
There were primaries in 5 other states, including Iowa, where Republican Ashley Hinson and Democrat Josh Turek both won. They'll face off in November. The winner replaces retiring GOP Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
No crashes to slow you down on the roads right now. The southbound 75 off-ramp to northbound 275 is closed for construction till 9 o'clock this evening. Left lane closed on eastbound 94 between Little Mac and Harbor. That's in place until 7 p.m. on Friday. And still many closures in the downtown area due to the Grand Prix. Those closures will be in place until Friday at 5 a.m. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by NECA IBEW Local 58. Count on the Powering Michigan team of IBEW 58 skilled electricians and NECA signatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. Sunshine today, a high of 82. Right now, it's 55. Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 58. A mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow and a high of 87. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org.
Detroit isn't just where we do business, it's where we were born. And that Detroit spirit still shapes everything we do at Gardner White, bringing the best in comfort, craftsmanship, and style to real Michigan homes. With furniture in stock and ready to deliver so you can enjoy it sooner. Plus, with free same-day delivery and flexible financing, getting it home has never been easier. With the most trusted brands in furniture, there's never been a better time to shop Gardner White.
For physical health,
mental health, and everything in between. Blue Cross is ready to help. Learn more at bcbsm.com.
Sparkle, scratch, and win with Michigan Lottery's newest instant game series, featuring 4 gemstone-themed tickets and $203 million in total prizes. When productivity is the priority, your storage should pull its weight. Shop durable solutions that maximize space and improve efficiency, from Unirack pallet racking and gravity flow racking to modular mezzanines and conveyor systems.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Explore food security through stories, strategies, and solutions that empower communities and inspire action. Hear thought leaders from across the state on Food Secure Nation with Dr. Phil Knight and Jerry Brisson. Sunday nights at 9 on 760 WJR, sponsored by Know Better, Do Better. For more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
Make your weekend great with the Great Michigan Weekend. Jim Harper and Cam Carmen, Saturday mornings 8 to 10. Stream 760 WJR live on the WJR app or at WJR.com. It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, 7 o'clock hour. Good to have you here on a Wednesday morning. Negotiations are still ongoing, according to President Donald Trump, between the United States and Iran. It says that he's even, as you heard in that bit of audio played by Fox News, that, things are going well. They're talking. He may even meet up with Mujtama Khamenei at some point, the supreme leader. Said they're getting along well.
Can's going a little bit further down the street. They're kicking a little further.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
So here's one thing to just keep in mind. Okay.
Okay.
Not that this is any sort of justification, because the United States engaged in military activity, all with the end game of being a deal put in place where Iran would not be able to enrich uranium past a certain point, and they would not be able to build a nuclear weapon, basically dismantling their whole nuclear program.
Yeah.
It did take the Obama administration 2 years to negotiate the JCPOA.
Okay.
From 2013 to 2015. Now, it's a different scenario.
It is.
Because there wasn't military
There's
action
military
then.
action attached.
The Strait of Hormuz wasn't closed.
That's right.
Gas prices weren't up that high as a result of those negotiations.
True.
So it is a bit of a different set of circumstances. But for all the people that have, expected this to get done in a couple of weeks, or in one particular meeting with, Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, or J.D. Vance, it probably was not realistic. Now, I ain't carrying anybody's dead weight around.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to get something done here because people are hurting financially here at home. So that's the difference, but it did take a long time. So those conversations are still ongoing. But again, the president has maintained things are going in the right direction until he, sends out a True Social saying something to the contrary. But he says things are going in the right direction. And Marco Rubio testified on Capitol Hill yesterday. And one of the things that he said was Iran's willingness to start negotiating on things that were previously redlined for them.
They have agreed to negotiate aspects of their nuclear program that just a month ago, or just a year ago, they were refusing to even mention, much less enter into discussions about.
So the Secretary of State says progress is being made.
Lynette Hooker vanished in early April while sailing with her husband, Brian Hooker, and he told investigators she fell overboard, was swept out to sea, and said he had to paddle to shore after she went into the water because she had the boat's key. Well, Brian Hooker was briefly taken into custody, as you remember, in the Bahamas following her disappearance, but was later released, and he came back here to Michigan. Now, investigators say there's some new cell phone location data that appears to contradict his account and may indicate that search efforts were directed to the wrong area of the sea. Now, that new evidence has prompted the U.S. Coast Guard to reopen its search for Lynette Hooker as the investigation continues. I don't know. From the beginning, I kind of thought things were weird, especially once the daughter started talking, doing interviews saying that, there had been some domestic violence, in the relationship. And it just kind of made me think even more. And now here it is that it appears that he may have lied to investigators and they're going to check out his story.
Yeah, Rod in Plymouth sent a text in. She fell overboard, was not wearing a life preserver, and now you want to blame the husband. This does not add up. The ignorance of not wearing a life preserver in rough waters in a little dinghy. I mean, that's fair. It's certainly a fair criticism. And these people, I think, were experienced boaters.
They're supposed to be.
So,
and the daughter said that the mom was very experienced and a very good swimmer.
Right. And by the way, I've been talking to the daughter. I'm trying to get her on the show.
Okay. Yes.
Because I'd love to hear her perspective now as more information becomes available. I mean, incredibly sad story. Her mother is gone, missing.
Yes.
But again, it's all the pieces that aren't adding up. That's the thing. I don't think anybody's pinning it on anybody, but the only person to pin it on would be her husband because they were the only two there.
Together. Right. Nobody else was there.
So it is odd how that has shifted, certainly.
Detroit leaders taking steps to prevent problems at this year's Ford fireworks as concerns grew over recent teen takeovers and youth-related violence across the city. The Detroit City Council has advanced a proposal to hold a public hearing on a temporary curfew for minors during the annual event. Under the plan, anyone under 18 will be prohibited from being in a designated downtown area from 8 p.m. on June 22nd until 6 a.m. June 23rd. City officials say the measure is intended to protect public safety as thousands gather along the riverfront. The move comes after a shooting at last year's fireworks injured a 17-year-old boy and a 22-year-old woman and follows several recent incidents involving large groups of teens that have led to violence and police intervention. And I know when I talked to some city council members up at Mackinac, they were saying they were going to be talking about this, but you had some city council people who said this would just be for downtown, and you had some city council people who kind of wanted it to be for the whole city.
Yeah,
for that day. So,
well, I mean, remember, this was an event where there were issues in the past.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And there was a lot of work done to make sure that wasn't happening on that night.
Exactly.
Anymore.
No.
So you don't want these, again, kids should be able to go downtown and enjoy the fireworks.
Yeah.
But again, if you're causing trouble.
If you're causing trouble or if you're not with a parent and you're not being supervised, you don't need to be there.
Yeah, a whole different set of circumstances. Coming up on the other side, primaries held all across the country yesterday. What did we learn? Donald Trump did sustain a blemish. We'll talk about that coming up with Dave Dulio at Oakland University. But first at 7:12, time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rock your world. Here's Jeff Sloan, the founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR.
Good morning. This morning on the Business Beat, we're taking a look at a hot retail category to see who's winning and who's fading. The category, athletic apparel, a near universal category in which Nike leads by a wide margin. They own a 22% mental market share, the broadest occasion footprint in a new study conducted by Morning Consult. Now, for reference, mental market share means a brand's mental availability, how often it comes to mind compared to competitors when consumers think of buying in a given category. Following Nike, which has more than double market share over the next competitor, that competitor, Adidas, at 11% and Under Armour at 10%. Nike is recalled across more purchase occasions than any other brand, including triggers like replacing worn-out gear, stylistic triggers like athleisure, and utilitarian triggers like everyday wear. Awareness is highest among 65-plus adults, 93%, and remains strong among 18 to 34-year-olds as well at 76%. Now, there are new challengers emerging in this category. Alo Yoga leads the Yoga Pilates category at 39%, ahead of Lululemon at 32%. When it comes to gym training wear, the leader is Gymshark at 36%, ahead of Under Armour at 35%. And brands not doing as well as expected, Reebok is at 6.5% mental market share, while Champion sits at 5.2%. Well-known brands, but those brands get left behind when consumers are about to make purchase decisions. All in all, the athletic apparel category showing strong retail results for brands and retailers alike. No doubt one which aspiring entrepreneurs should take a close look at if you're thinking of starting or growing a business of your own. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, the source for everything you need to start and grow your own business. And that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
When productivity is the priority, your storage should pull its weight. Shop durable solutions that maximize space and improve efficiency, from Unirack pallet racking and gravity flow racking to modular mezzanines and conveyor systems.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg that the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, because now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
It's Jamie Edmonds. There's nothing like a day at the ballpark with the Detroit Tigers. The roar of the crowd, the smell of fresh cut grass, and now the taste of something truly special. Introducing Detroit's Grand Slam ice cream from Guernsey Farms Dairy, proud partner of the Tigers. Made with rich, creamy goodness and packed with hometown flavor, it's the perfect way to celebrate every inning, every hit, every home run. Heading to the game, make sure to grab a scoop of Guernsey right at the park during every Tigers game, because baseball isn't just America's favorite pastime, it's even better with America's favorite treat. Cool off, treat yourself, and make every Tigers moment a little sweeter with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey Farms Dairy and the Detroit Tigers teaming up to knock it out of the park.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jim Harper here, and I want to talk to those of you who've been caring for your folks. Maybe because of their age or health, they need a little extra care, so you visit them often. Maybe they're living with you. But if it's time for them to get quality professional care, I've got a tip for you. Rose Senior Assisted Living in Farmington Hills. I wish I'd known about Rose when Lynn's mom was with us. Doctors told us she needed more care than we could provide, and that's what Rose Senior Assisted Living has been doing for 125 years as a family business. Cool apartments that are modern and clean and full of bright, cheery staff and residents. They'll have people attending all their needs, doctors available, and the food is first class. Call Rose at 248-522-2460. Set up an appointment to check them out. You will be impressed. They're on the web at farmingtonhills.roseseniorliving.com. Rose Senior Living, assisted living. Feels like family, feels like home. That's farmingtonhills.roseseniorliving.com.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Consumers Energy.
Every day across Michigan, 75 cents of every customer dollar is at work securing the electric grid. From upgrading equipment to preparing for storms, it's year-round work that keeps your service more predictable. Michigan, you can count on Consumers Energy.
Southbound 75 after Sashabon. Accidents blocking the right lane. Traffic slow from Ortonville Road. Northbound 275 after Ford Road. Crash off to the left shoulder. And the southbound 75 off-ramp to northbound 275 closed for construction till 9 o'clock this evening. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. And Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guy. Capital One NA, member FDIC. Here's your forecast.
A very comfortable morning. That comfortable weather will continue into the afternoon. Although warm, it should stay relatively dry, meaning no humidity. Good looking day, though. Lots of sunshine. 85 tonight, mainly clear, upper 50. So up a few from what you see this morning on the car thermometer. Lots of sunshine, a little breeze tomorrow as we get near 90. Friday, a little more clouds, still some sun, near 90. Showers start to roll in late Friday night. On the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Join us in Focus, Relentless Positive Radio, Wednesday from noon to 2. We'll welcome in Brad Galley, former Channel 7 sports anchor, off on his own. We're going to check in, see how things are going. All these new initial public offerings in AI. Next big thing, we don't want to miss it. Or the next bust. We'll talk about it in Focus on WJR.
So I told you earlier this week, it's June now.
Yeah.
No, you knew it was June.
I knew it.
But,
Yay!
But I told you, once we get to June here, the primaries really ramp up.
Yeah,
and
fast and furious.
We start to learn a little bit more. And there were a number yesterday: California, Iowa, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, and South Dakota. Obviously, one of the biggest primaries that we were watching. Really, two of them in California, both of them. But the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, the incumbent, looking for another term. Spencer Pratt, the former reality show star, now turned politician. The impetus for him was he and his wife, their home burned down in the Palisades fire.
Right.
He has seen the mismanagement of the city budget, particularly when it came to the fires, but then when it came to the homeless population, spending $400 million to just allow people to live on the streets in Los Angeles. And he says that the people of LA deserve more.
So it's going to be a runoff now because nobody cracked 50%.
Correct. But we don't know who yet is going to be in that because they're still counting votes.
But
he is in the lead.
He's in the lead
for second place.
He's close to the mayor. I mean, she's like,
they're
35,
only 4 percentage points off.
Yeah, like 4 percentage points off. So,
it should put a little bit of fear in Karen Bass at this point. I agree. David Dulio is the distinguished professor of political science and the director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University and joins us this morning. Dave, good morning. It's good to have you back.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
What did you make of some of these races yesterday?
Yeah, I think that yesterday's primary results across the country provided some interesting results, some expected results, and I think also shine a light on some of the national dynamics that are continuing to really drive American politics. And I think, part of that is the faction divide in today's Democratic Party between sort of the establishment folks and the more progressive wing of the party. And both could claim some victories yesterday. In Iowa, we have Josh Turek, a moderate, sort of centrist Democrat. He is going to advance to run against a woman named Ashley Hinson for the open Senate seat in Iowa. You've got military veteran Rebecca Bennett, who also is from that more moderate wing of the Democratic Party, going to run against a guy named Tom Keene, who has been nowhere to be seen on Capitol Hill as a member of Congress from New Jersey. But at the same time, we get also in New Jersey, interesting in the same state, but driven by different district factors, a guy named Hamilton, who is very much in the progressive bent of the party these days, and he's going to go on in a safe Democratic district to represent voters. And one of the great quotes that I read about him is that he has a checkered personal history, which these days is more and more. And of course, and you guys covered California.
Yeah.
But I would just say two other things. One, the primary out there is top two. So you get a slew of Republicans and Democrats on the same primary ballot, and those top two vote getters will go on to the general election. And the last thing is, and you alluded to it, but it's important, lots of votes left out there in California to count. So even in that LA mayor's race and an interesting governor's race, lots of votes left out there.
David, we've seen, entertainers and media personalities and political outsiders continue to gain traction. Why are non-traditional candidates still resonating with voters?
Yeah, great question, Lloyd. I think, and let me start by saying that this is not the first era of American politics where those outsiders or celebrity candidates, in some sense, have had real success. And I think it's because of a couple things. Number one, when voters start to hear about the quote unquote career politicians and look at records, maybe like in Los Angeles, right? Folks are looking for something different. They're looking for something fresh. They're looking for a new perspective to help solve important problems. And being a celebrity, having a notable name, helps those individuals raise money. It helps them with name identification, which, as you both know, is really important in races like these. So I think it's a combination of benefits that come along with being somebody who's got a well-known name and just an appetite for something different.
Well, up until last night's primaries, there were no Trump-endorsed candidates for governor, House, or Senate that had lost a midterm primary until last night. Randy Fenstra, the representative who was running for governor in Iowa, did lose to Zach Lon, and that changes things a little bit. Donald Trump was batting 1,000 up until that point. Do you think that his late endorsement just wasn't enough at the end?
Yeah, it may not have come in time. And off the top of my head, I don't know what the early voting rules are in that state, but it could be that there were folks who maybe who had cast their ballots via absentee or early voting that may have changed had Trump come in earlier. But I think, look, I mean, this is one race out of many that have already come. Right, the president's grip on the Republican Party and his influence among Republican primary voters is not to be questioned.
I'm wondering, Dave, how much should we read into primary results when turnout is often, a lot lower than the general election?
Yeah, it's really hard to extrapolate from a primary to a general election, and the electorates are just so much different in terms of who shows up, and of course that has an impact on those turnout numbers, as you mentioned, Lloyd. Right? I mean, the folks who show up in California are the hardcore of the hardcore partisans, right? I mean, it's and the same will be true here in Michigan in August, right?
Right.
When
Yeah.
people are still on vacation. They're thinking about the last few weeks of summer. They're getting their kids ready to go back to school, right? I mean, it really takes a motivated and really active politically individual to get out there and vote. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but
right.
That's really the dynamics that are at
Dave
play.
Dulio, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Change is coming to the earmark process here in the state of Michigan. It's next.
Thanks for calling the Complete Battery Source.
This is probably a long shot, but do you guys carry a battery for my boat?
Yep, got that.
But you didn't even hear what kind of boat I have.
Don't need to. We're your Complete Battery Source, where the answer is pretty much always, yep, got that.
But what if I want a battery for my motorcycle?
Yep, got that.
I haven't been able to find a battery anywhere for my...
I got that too. Look, Complete Battery Source has batteries for everything that uses batteries, and we stock batteries for virtual ME boat, for personal watercraft and runabouts, to great big luxury motor yachts, and motorcycles too. Why, we stock batteries to fit every bike, from little scooters to great big performance and touring bikes.
Well, that sounds great. Sounds like Complete Battery Source is the place to power up all my summer toys.
That's right. All you got to do is come into any one of the 5 Complete Battery Source locations: Brighton, Southfield, Ypsilanti, Okemos, and Houghton Lake. Call toll-free 877-ALL-BATS or click on yepgotthat.com. 5 locations. Now you got that?
Yep, got that.
You're hearing the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR.
I'm Eric Reno, owner of Paramount Roofing. We've protected thousands of homes, and right now, there has never been a better time to replace your roof.
Ryan Armani here, and Eric is not kidding. Paramount's biggest way to save means no money down and 0% interest for 5 full years. New roof, no catch.
Get a free estimate at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com.
Paramount Roofing, built to last, backed for life.
News updates anytime at WJR.com.
Your child's education is the foundation for tomorrow's leaders. Listen Sundays at 3 p.m. for School Talks, hosted by Dr. Robert Livernoy. Sponsored by Must Construction Careers. Learn more at mustcareers.org.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. The primary for California governor is undecided. The top 2 finishers advance, and Republican Steve Hilton leads the ballot count so far.
We are going to make California the best place in the world to start and run a business, to start and raise a family. This is the place.
Democrat Javier Becerra is in second place ahead of Democrat Tom Steyer.
California is the richest state in the richest country in the history of the world. It's unacceptable that right now so many Californians struggle to make ends meet.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass advances to the general election in her race against either Republican Spencer Pratt or another Democrat Nitya Raman. In Iowa, Trump-backed House Republican Ashley Hinson wins her Senate primary and will face Democrat Josh Turek in November. At least one person's killed, and Kuwait's main airport is badly damaged in an Iranian drone attack. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Southbound 75 after Sashaba. Still have a crash blocking the right lane. Traffic's backed up to Dixie Highway. Accident off to the left shoulder of northbound 275 after Ford Road. Westbound 94 at Little Mac. That crash off to the right shoulder. Also eastbound 94 between Little Mac and Harper. Left lane is closed for construction till 7 p.m. on Friday. Now, WJR Weather First. Friendly Weather Channel sponsored by University of Michigan. Dedicated to putting research into action. From bringing Braille into the digital world to warming newborns without electricity and working to build a stronger Great Lakes economy. Learn more at umich.edu/look. This message is sponsored by University of Michigan's Michigan Creative. Sunshine today and a high of 82. Right now it's 55. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 58. Mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow and a high of 87. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey there, WJR listeners. Chris Alberta here at Principium. Listen, your bucket of money, that precious little gem that's taken you a lifetime to accumulate, has been growing. And if you're anything like all of my clients, you were worried that it might not be enough to supplement your retirement, especially if the markets have a downturn. All these incredible investment and insurance tools these days, they've been designed to address specific problems and concerns. But most folks I see every week, they have the wrong stuff. You know why? Because no one's taking the time to actually invest in them and diagnose the actual problem, the actual concern. Yeah, look, my process, it's laborious, but it's worth it. The results and the peace of mind are a byproduct of us learning together. If you're retired or nearing retirement, it's time for you to dig in with me. We can increase the reward and we can decrease the risk. It's a win-win. So stop going to steak dinners, free steak dinners offered by financial salespeople. Invest in yourself. With me at my office on your timetable with zero pressure. Call me today, Chris Alberta at Principium, 1-888-800-8949.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? You want to think of this as being your money. But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And these taxes, well, they could be a lot higher than you know. Learn how you could reduce or potentially eliminate these taxes with a free retirement tax savings analysis. It's from the Brzezinski Group, a second-generation financial advisory firm right here in Metro Detroit. If you saved at least $250,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 800-641-3361. This free analysis could save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes in retirement. Call 800-641-3361. That's 800-641-3361. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Firm does not provide legal or tax advice.
Service didn't define their story, but it shaped their foundation. Hear inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life on The Veterans Blueprint. Sponsored by VetLife, Sundays at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
All right, while we work on our guests, let me ask you a question.
Ask me.
You a big soccer fan?
Not really. I'll watch it sometime on Saturday before the lottery comes out. At 1 o'clock. I'll see what the lottery number is. Oh, soccer's on. Let me watch this for a minute. Okay, the lottery number's been flashed up on the screen. Goodbye.
Lloyd's just it's a trail of smoke behind Lloyd as he runs away from the TV.
No, I'll watch it for a little while.
Well, the FIFA World Cup starts in, 8 days?
Yes.
In the United States.
Big deal.
I don't know if anybody cares.
I mean, I don't hear many people that my circle of friends talking about it much,
Now, I love soccer.
Okay.
So I'm jazzed for it.
Okay.
I absolutely love it, and I love international soccer the most.
Okay.
All right. So this is the Olympics of soccer, right? This is your home country representing, and it's the World Cup. It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay.
And all I've heard for years is, oh, here comes soccer. Oh, don't sleep on. Oh, soccer's getting more popular.
Yeah.
Soccer is getting more popular. And I think that is true to a certain extent. I mean, forever.
You're listening to the best.
Forever. You're listening to the best of FIFA talk here on
Oops.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was at one point the most popular game for kids to play.
Oh,
because
man.
What do you need? A ball.
Listen.
That's all you need.
I was out over the weekend at an event, and there was a big soccer game with kids going on at the park.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got our town, our team in town here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it is popular amongst certain people, but broadly, I'm not entirely sure it is. Now, I would love to hear from you. 800-859-0957, 800-859-0WJR. Is this on your radar? Isn't it? Why? Because I think it's a beautiful game. Some people don't like it. They flop it around and they're faking injuries and the whole thing. Yeah. You hear about the magic water bottle, the magic squirt bottle when they come out, and all of a sudden, it looked like they just blew their leg off in a horrifying car crash, and all of a sudden they're out scoring goals.
Goals, yeah.
Right. But I was talking to our program or our promotions director yesterday.
Okay.
Who's a big DCFC fan, like big soccer fan. I'm like, are you excited for the World Cup? And he's like,
huh.
And I'm like, you're the guy who should be excited.
Yeah.
I'm like, if we can't get you to be excited, how can we expect anybody to be excited?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear more as it gets closer, but normally, when you have something big like this, you would hear about it weeks. People will be talking it up,
I mean, there has been a lot of talk about it, but it's not like, it's not like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
I don't know. It's just something that I was thinking about the last couple of days because I'm getting excited for it.
Okay.
And I just don't know if the same level of excitement is there. And judging by the feedback here, I'm going to say no.
How did you get that idea?
800-859-0957, 800-859-0WJR. A couple of weeks ago, the Michigan Court of Claims granted a preliminary injunction to the Mackinac Center Legal Foundation's lawsuit challenging unconstitutional earmarks hidden in the state budget process. And changes now could be coming as a result. Patrick Wright's the VP of Mackinac Center Legal Foundation and joins us to talk about it. Patrick, good morning. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me on.
Why file the lawsuit? Why go down that path? And now, as a result of this preliminary injunction, what happens?
Well, we thought that there were taxpayers are being abused because there was about $3 billion over 2 years of unconstitutional earmarks. And so we took them to court. We got a preliminary injunction from the court telling us that the process was improper. And we're hoping to get a little bit of the money back and stop the legislature from being able to do this in the future.
One of the major changes, a strict ban on earmarks going to for-profit companies and new requirements for nonprofits to have a physical presence in history in Michigan. What impact could that have on how money flows into local communities?
Well, Michigan's Constitution for over 100 years has prohibited appropriations, earmarks, support, whatever you'd like to call it, going to local or private purposes, unless there's a supermajority vote of 2/3. So what was happening was this was at a time of one party was in control and they wanted to help make sure that they can get reelected, and so the earmarks shot through the roof for a couple of years, and hopefully what this will do is make it a little bit harder for these things to go. We do have local revenues. The Constitution requires that revenue sharing. And so if you need a swimming pool at your high school, that can be handled by your local community. It really shouldn't be a state matter.
Is the Faye Badoon case the poster child of this? Of course, she was charged with 16 felony counts according to or through the Michigan Attorney General's office. She had that $20 million grant that was meant to create a global business accelerator in Oakland County, but obviously that didn't end up happening. Is that the poster case for this?
Yeah, in some ways it is. It shows that without good oversight and without everybody being aware of what's going on, you can end up with some really ugly situations. That typically happens at the end of a budget cycle. So you have the House has one budget, the Senate has another. They go to something called a conference. They hash out their differences, and then lo and behold, 10 people get lots of earmarks, and those 10 people manage to vote for the budget. So by making sure that the vote threshold is a lot higher, hopefully we will have a lot less of that. The House and the Senate also put in some things that are not constitutionally required, but improve the process, and that these things have to be disclosed a lot earlier in the budget process now, so they can't just be stuck in conference. They have to go through the committees and go through the vote on the floor and all of that other stuff. So that should help as well.
Patrick, how common is it for legislatures to tighten rules like this after scandals? And does it really, actually reduce misconduct long term?
Well, I have a running theory that if you show me this month's headlines, I'll show you next month's rules. And so usually there's a response to scandals. I do think that this will improve the process quite a bit. Before, in the last 10 years, we have had, by the way, $1 billion in proper earmarks, where where the vote was sufficient to have the 2/3 majority. But most of the time it had been in the low 60 and 70 millions, and then it just exploded. And so we're hopeful that, particularly with this indictment with the Faye Baydoun thing,
Yeah.
and other investigations, that there's going to be a lot more scrutiny to this and that the problem will improve going forward.
Just 30 seconds left here. Does the lack of transparency here in the state lead to some of these problems?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want more transparency as you can get. The House and the Senate are trying to make it more transparent by some internal rules. Those are not constitutional rules. They can be waived in the future. So groups like ourselves, people like yourselves, we're just going to have to keep an eye on this process and try to make sure that the taxpayers get protected.
Patrick Wright, we appreciate you as always. Thank you. We'll talk again very soon.
Appreciate being on.
Yeah, you got it. Coming up on the other side, it's meetyourclass.com, and you can, in fact, meet your class. It's next on JR Morning.
No matter where you look, rising costs are hitting Michiganders hard. And when you're forced to make those tough choices, like keeping on the lights and the heat, well, that shouldn't be one of them. Consumers Energy is stepping up, giving back $5 million to assistance agencies and supporting efforts to increase energy assistance dollars for families in need by 50%. And with personalized energy savings programs, you can take steps to start reducing your energy bills today. Count on Consumers Energy for support. Learn more at consumersenergy.com/help.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross, we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Lloyd Jackson.
From severe discomfort to unexplained fatigue, the warning signs of uterine fibroids can completely disrupt a woman's daily routine, yet many suffer in silence or mistake the symptoms for something else. I spoke with Dr. Yulia Malayev, an OBGYN with Huron Valley Sinai Hospital and the DMC Medical Group in Commerce Township, who says while some women don't experience symptoms, those who do can face some real disruption.
People may be unaware that this is what's causing their problem. So whenever I see any of my patients, whether here at the hospital or at my office, I say to them, tell me about your period. How often are you getting it? How many days is it? Has it changed at all in the last several months? I ask them to think of their period as their vital sign. And if all of a sudden it's not the same as it's been, then we have to investigate why.
Beyond the daily discomfort, Dr. Malayev talks about the broader health risk if fibroids go untreated, such as anemia.
That's probably one of the most common symptoms with fibroids is heavy menstrual bleeding. Typically, periods will be longer, heavier, more painful. A lot of the times people will have to take iron supplements, sometimes get iron infusions. Occasionally, people will have to come in for just blood products because they're getting so sick from losing blood every single month.
And what if you're pregnant?
If they're pregnant, the baby's ability to exit the birth canal, like it may be blocking the exit if it's large enough. Patients may end up with cesarean sections. They're also at higher bleeding risk when they're delivering, again, depending on the positioning of these fibroid tumors within their uterus.
If you need more information, call 248-360-9090. I'm Lloyd Jackson, JR Health Watch.
There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Sharing stories and lures down at the docks as you practice the perfect cast. Renting bikes for the family and pedaling along a scenic, shaded trail. Perusing a local farmer's market for the makings of a picnic. Spreading out your blankets and bites by the waterside on a sun-soaked afternoon. Find your own moments of pure greatness when you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan. Visit gogreat.com to plan your next vacation.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. Get ready to win big this summer at MGM Grand Detroit. Earn entries into the Friday drawings for your chance at the $200,000 progressive drawing. See the MGM Rewards desk for details. 21 and up.
Southbound 75 after Sashaba, that accident still taking up the right lane. Traffic's backed up to Dixie Highway. Westbound 94 at Warren Avenue, disabled vehicle in the left lane. Traffic slowed to 96. Crash off to the right shoulder of westbound 94 at Little Mac. And northbound 275 after Ford Road, accident off to the left shoulder. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Lombardo Apartments. Searching for a luxury 2 or 3 bedroom townhome? Kirkway Apartments in Washington Township features beautiful luxury townhomes designed for comfort, convenience, and style. Visit kirkwayapartments.com for more information on their specials, including up to 1 month free rent on a new lease. Here's your forecast.
Good looking rest of the week. High pressure will remain locked in. Temperatures are going to get a little hotter with that southerly flow working in, close to 90 by Thursday and Friday. Good looking morning this morning. Plenty of clear sky, blue sky. Later, 85, average high 76. Tonight, mainly clear, close to 60, 50s in the suburbs. Sunny tomorrow, close to 90 with a little breeze out of the southwest. Friday, some more clouds come in, still some sun near 90. Showers later Friday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
You said I was in my early 40s with a lot of life before me. And a moment came that stopped me on a dime.
Well, it's WJR's Tim McGraw VIP experience. It's your chance to rock when country music legend Tim McGraw brings his Pawn Show Guitar Tour to Pine Knob Music Theater August 28th. And you could win a pair of premium pavilion tickets, transportation courtesy of Metro Cars, and $100 to Buddy's Pizza. Now to enter, all you got to do is download the free WJR mobile app, find the secret keyword, and then text it to 800-859-0957, 800-859-0WJR. You can head on over to WJR.com for more information. Download that free mobile app, find the secret keyword, and then text it to 800-859-0957. There was an interesting piece in Crane's Detroit Business about companies, tech companies that are bucking the trend of maybe going to places like Silicon Valley and choosing the city of Detroit instead to be headquartered.
Okay.
And we love it. Absolutely love it.
Always, yes.
Well, one of those companies is Meet Your Class. It's a platform to connect current students and universities and resources and being able to connect with people that you're going to end up going to college with.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cool idea. And Blake Mishley is the CEO and co-founder of MeetYourClass.com and joins us. Blake, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning. Great to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, first, let's talk a little bit about Meet Your Class. Where did this idea start? Why did you create it? And it's been successful thus far.
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy journey. So I graduated from the University of Michigan about over a year ago at this point. Time's been flying. But I started it at the end of my freshman year when I just saw how prospective college students were going to college, including myself. I found my roommates, my friends through social media, yet kind of the infrastructure that was in place just was not optimized for how students were researching colleges. So I started Meet Your Class with the belief that students wanted to connect and they were already doing it on social media. So how can we, find them where they are and build that community earlier?
And Blake, you're integrating with platforms like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook to connect students where they already are. Does that make the college experience, feel more natural, or does it kind of blur the line between real life and digital relationships in a new way?
No, yeah, it's an interesting question. I think probably multiple years ago, it probably didn't used to be the case, but yeah. I see, especially post-COVID, I think we're seeing that pivot to where it's almost the expectation that even though when you get to college, you're going to make new friends in your classes and in person, there's almost this expectation post-COVID from an anxiety standpoint that if you don't have that connection or those friend groups or that roommate, you're going to feel like you're behind. And so, we're seeing, we're always kind of polling our students, and we see over 50% of students now, they are starting to connect with others before they even commit to a college. So it's really part of the college decision process at this point, which is certainly kind of a newer trend that we're seeing.
Well, this idea born here in the state of Michigan, the fact that you've decided to stay here, I think is notable. You've relocated to Detroit. You did that almost a year ago now. Why? Why not go to Silicon Valley? Why not go out west? Why stay here?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for us personally, I mean, we're very grateful for all the resources we've been able to get through both University of Michigan, through programs there, but then also through now the city of Detroit. But how we kind of got ingrained in the ecosystem was we went through an accelerator called Techstars, and it was based in Detroit. And so we went through that when I was a sophomore in college. Candidly, I had very rarely, I'm from the west side of Michigan, and so I didn't really get over to Detroit as much as a child. And so that's how I really kind of got introduced to the growing ecosystem that was kind of here in Detroit. And I think, being born and raised in Michigan, just really felt kind of inspired to stay in the state. And I think for like our, looking at our business specifically too, being higher ed, I think honestly, being very close to our partners, I think, is really important for us. So it does give us a competitive advantage rather than being, all the way on the West Coast and kind of being close to all of this higher ed talent that is kind of here in Southeast Michigan.
Blake, how are the colleges themselves reacting to platforms like yours? Are they supportive? They're a little cautious? What are you hearing?
Yeah, I mean, it's very much, I mean, it's a mix, of course, but we end up working with universities because, so we work with over 30 institutions now, and a lot of them here in the state of Michigan, because they view that community aspect as such an important part of the enrollment process. And, they institutions that have orientations, admitted student day events to try to drive that connectivity in person, but now they're realizing the need to start that earlier and start that virtually, since COVID was kind of the catalyst for that. So we're seeing positive reactions now that we've been able to start growing, build our own brand awareness in the industry. But it's been very the reception has been good as we've kind of continued to grow.
Blake Mishley, the CEO and co-founder of MeetYourClass.com. Thank you for your time. It's a really cool story, and the fact that you're staying at home is even cooler. So thank you for your time. Best of luck. Keep us up to date on how things are going.
Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate for having me on. It was a great time talking with you all.
You got it. You got it. Very cool.
The NBA Finals are tonight, and it's San Antonio versus the Knicks. The Knicks haven't been to the finals since '99.
Okay.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York, signed an executive order temporarily repealing bedtimes for children across the city so they can stay up and watch the New York Knicks play. Just so you know. And the official order was signed with the handprints of local school children, which allows them to, stay up and watch the game, because the game started at 8:30. So he did that yesterday with all the little kids around him, and, some of them paying attention to what he was doing, some were not. But yeah, just so you know. So the kids will be allowed to stay up.
I can't go to bed. It's illegal.
That's right. The mayor has rescinded that.
911, my mom says I have to go to bed. Can you come 129 9th Avenue, 7th floor, bring the paddy wagon. What?
Oh, yeah. So if the mayor rescinds it, if the Pistons were playing and the mayor rescinds it, and your kids say, Dad, hey, the mayor rescinded it, I get to stay up now. What are you going to say?
I don't know. Who cares? That's stupid.
Oh, no, my kids couldn't tell me that. They had a bedtime. They're going to bed.
You're going to bed.
You're going, bro.
I don't care what Mayor Mamdani says.
That's right. Call 911.
Go brush your teeth.
You might be calling 199.
That's right.
But leave me alone.
8 o'clock hours next.
There's a place where mornings begin with coffee on the world's longest front porch and evenings end with music under the stars. For 140 years, that place has been Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. Join us in our 140th season as America celebrates 250 years for a summer of special events and new Grand American evenings each night, beginning after dinner with outdoor entertainment and patriotic celebration for all ages. Join us for a season to celebrate. Visit grandhotel.com or give us a call at 1-800-33-GRAND and mention code WJR 2026 for 15% off our best available rate. Conditions apply.
Quality that's delicious.
It's Jamie Edmonds. There's nothing like a day at the ballpark with the Detroit Tigers. The roar of the crowd, the smell of fresh cut grass, and now the taste of something truly special. Introducing Detroit's Grand Slam ice cream from Guernsey Farms Dairy, proud partner of the Tigers. Made with rich, creamy goodness and packed with hometown flavor, it's the perfect way to celebrate every inning, every hit, every home run. Heading to the game, make sure to grab a scoop of Guernsey right at the park during every Tigers game, because baseball isn't just America's favorite pastime, it's even better with America's favorite treat. Cool off, treat yourself, and make every Tigers moment a little sweeter with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey Farms Dairy and the Detroit Tigers teaming up to knock it out of the park.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
The wait is over. Patio season is officially here at Doyle's Irish Pub at St. John's Resort in Plymouth. Enjoy an ice-cold pint, delicious Irish comfort food, and the perfect outdoor atmosphere. Whether you're grabbing a drink before your 18 holes on the Cardinal or meeting up with friends, there's no better place to enjoy the warmer weather. Our patio bar is open for the season, so come see us at Doyle's.
WJR, Detroit.
Iran's supreme leader are getting along quite well. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump says, adding the two of them will likely meet as talks continue, trying to work out a deal to end the Iran conflict, adding it'll be very good. The president also tells the New York Post's Pod Force One podcast he did have a tense call with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
I wouldn't say angry. I was a little bit perturbed.
Over Israel's attacks on Hezbollah militants in Lebanon.
You know, at some point I said, maybe we got to stop this.
This is the U.S. and Iran battle again, leaving one person dead in Kuwait.
The attack on the Kuwait airport passenger building came as part of back-and-forth attacks between the United States and Iran. The U.S. had fired a missile into the engine room of an oil tanker trying to breach the American blockade and targeted an Iranian military station on Qeshm Island in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran says it went after the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. We're told those missiles were intercepted.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. They're still counting the votes in California, but so far, Republican Steve Hilton is in the lead in the primary for governor.
We just need a governor and a government that helps people instead of constantly standing in their way when they want to follow their dreams.
Democrats Javier Becerra and Tom Steyer, they're second and third right now. The top two will face off in the November election. In Los Angeles, Mayor Karen Bass came in first in her primary.
I have devoted my entire life to serving the city that I love, where I was born, and I'm going to continue to do that.
She may face reality star Spencer Pratt in November. He's now in second in the voting. A Grammy award-winning singer has died. That's one of Peabo Bryson's 3 top 10 hits. The other 2 are from Disney classic movies. He won a Grammy for that duet with Celine Dion and for A Whole New World from Aladdin. Peabo Bryson was 75, his death days after his family announced he'd suffered a stroke. America's listening to Fox News.
JR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. Get ready to win big this summer at MGM Grand Detroit. Earn entries into the Friday drawings for your chance at the $200,000 progressive drawing. See the MGM Rewards desk for details. 21 and up.
Westbound 696 after Mound crash off to the right shoulder. Same story on westbound 94 at Little Mac. Westbound 94 Warren Avenue, that disabled vehicle is cleared. However, traffic still stop and go from 75. Southbound 75 after Sashabout, that accident has also cleared. We're seeing delays from Dixie Highway. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by University of Michigan, working to advance technologies to improve lives, from predicting hazardous space weather for astronauts to helping surgeons detect missed cancer tissue in seconds. Learn more at umich.edu/look. This message is sponsored by University of Michigan's Michigan Creative. Sunshine today and a high of 82. Right now it's 56. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 58. A mix of clouds and sunshine tomorrow and a high of 87. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Spring is here, and so are the savings at Clarkston Window and Door. This month, get 37% off installed replacement windows and doors, plus 0% financing for 15 months. You heard that right. 37% off and 0% financing for 15 months. Book your free no-obligation consultation today and let the sun shine in. Clarkston Window and Door. ClarkstonWindow.com.
We sell, we install. That's right, we do it all. Clarkston Window and Door.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk.
All right, good to have you. 8 o'clock hour. Still a lot to do. By the way, we do have Name That Tune is back. We were on the road last week, couldn't get it done, but we're back at it today.
Gotta see how well I'll do, if I'll do.
Coming up at 8:49. You know what? I don't want to hear it from you.
What do you mean?
I don't want to hear that.
What?
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. You've been kicking our butts for weeks.
Not
for
all
weeks,
the time.
this guy.
No.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah. This guy's been slow rolling us. He's been hustling us at the pool table for weeks. I don't even want to hear it.
I'm not.
You've been wiping the floor with us.
No, I mean, Renee is the star.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You may have taken the throne.
I don't know.
For the last couple of weeks. Yeah. So Donald Trump says that things are still progressing nicely towards a deal. You heard it there in the Fox News update that he may even meet with Mushaba Hamani at some point. Things
would be something.
It would be something.
That would.
I'd like to know how that conversation would go.
Yeah, me too.
But he says that he's active in these conversations now.
That's the supreme leader?
Yeah. That he's actually involved. I'm involved in the same way that Donald Trump's involved, right? They're working through mediators and negotiating teams and things like that. But that's an interesting bit of news and a development. But there were a number of instances overnight where Iranian targets U.S. forces. They targeted a Kuwait airport. They also, Bahrain intercepted Iranian missiles and drones, according to their military. CENTCOM says that any of the drones that were launched towards the United States were taken out before they connected.
Yeah.
So there is, again, military activity. The ceasefire is just it's very delicate.
It's very delicate.
It's very delicate. All while the conversations are ongoing about how to come to some sort of diplomatic agreement on this front. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio said yesterday that even now, Iran has taken a different posture when it comes to their nuclear program.
They have agreed to negotiate aspects of their nuclear program that just a month ago, or just a year ago, they were refusing to even mention, much less enter into discussions about.
So things are progressing. Okay, great. Again, it took, for the JCPOA, took almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Roughly 2 years to get that agreement put in place when the Obama administration was there.
Right.
Problem is there was military action here with this. That's not necessarily the problem. The problem is the economic fallout.
Yeah.
And that wasn't in
the
place
gas prices
during
are
the JCPOA discussions.
crazy. The gas prices are
Correct.
up. Food prices
Correct.
are up. All of that.
Correct. So while the United States continues to put economic pressure on Iran, the cost of things are still too high. So that's been the major difference between then and now, back in 2013 to 15. So a different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
But it's not like you could just flip the switch and all of a sudden you have a deal. That's not how Iran rolls. So something we watch.
Two researchers with the National Institutes of Health facing federal charges after authorities say they attempted to bring monkeypox-related biological materials into the United States through Detroit Metro Airport. Federal prosecutors allege Vincent Munster and Claude Cuey arrived from the Republic of Congo in January carrying a case they claim contained diagnostic equipment. Investigators say the case actually held 113 vials, including samples containing deactivated monkeypox virus. The pair, who work in a high-security laboratory studying emerging viruses, are charged with conspiracy to smuggle biological materials into the country and making false statements to federal agents. Authorities emphasize the charges are allegations. Both men are presumed innocent until proven guilty. If they are convicted, they each face up to 5 years in prison.
Very scary.
I mean,
very scary stuff.
Yes. How close, how close was it to us? I mean, it came right through our airport.
17 vials of deactivated monkeypox virus, a chickenpox virus, and 2 vials of human DNA.
Wow. Also, there are the federal investigators are charging a former procurement director for the People Mover and a local business owner in this alleged scheme to defraud the transit system out of about $300,000. According to the FBI, former Detroit Transportation Corporation employee Michael Anderson and Total Care Restoration owner Terrence Parker conspired to submit and approve invoices to work that was never performed between 2023 and 2025. Investigators allege the restoration company received about $305,000 for information technology work despite having no known IT experience, no contract with the People Mover, and no record of performing the services billed. Federal agents say phone records and emails, bank transactions, and cash withdrawals point to a coordinated fraud scheme. Both men now face conspiracy and federal program theft or bribery charges.
That's not the area we need to slide back into.
No, we don't. And I mean, there are digital fingerprints. There's paperwork. I don't understand. I never could understand why people would think they could get away with this and nobody's going to catch up to it.
Right. It is spectacularly unbelievable.
I just don't understand that part. But okay.
There's a lot of parts I don't understand.
It's always, well, that person was not as smart as me. I'm smarter.
Correct. Correct. In 2026, I can do things way
better
than they can do in 2016.
Exactly.
It's absolutely crazy. Scott Pelley, the veteran 60 Minutes correspondent, has been fired by CBS. There was, he had issued even a public condemnation on the show of CBS. And in behind the scenes, there was a tense staff meeting where Pelley was sharply critical of CBS executives, both Bari Weiss and the new executive producer of the show, Nick Bilton. And he basically was accusing Bilton of not having the required experience to be the executive producer of truly one of the flagship, journalism programs in history.
Yes.
Right.
It's older than me. I know that.
Most of the time they do a really, really good job. Sometimes they fall a little short, but so does everybody.
Sure.
And they do a really, really nice job. So there was this meeting with the new executive producer, and Scott Pelley was the one leading the charge. That was, he was very heated. Very heated.
Do you think he kind of wanted to?
I don't know. I don't know if he martyred himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. know.
Yeah.
But in a letter to Scott Pelley from Nick Belton, he said it was a profound disappointment that you rejected that overture of him coming in good faith, trying to meet the staff of 60 Minutes, and choose to ambush me instead. Yesterday, you hijacked my first meeting with staff to disparage me, my qualifications, and my intentions with remarkable incivility and contempt. I welcome a diversity of viewpoints and respectful debate among the team. but this was nothing of the sort. And again, if I were to walk into a meeting of our entire cluster,
come on,
and just started laying into people, I don't know that I'd finish my sentence. I'd be out the door.
You'd be gone. We'd be gone. We'd be gone.
I mean, and that's not just the business. That's if you go into your work today. No, actually, don't go to your work today. You're gonna say, I heard this on WJ. Don't.
Chris told me to do it.
Immediate retraction. No, don't do that. If you were to go into your work and had that meeting that you have every morning at 10 o'clock and you start going crazy, well, of course they're going to fire you.
Yeah. We don't need this negativity here.
Of course. So people are like being critical of CBS for firing Scott Pelley, but at the end, Scott Pelley wasn't doing what he should have done.
No.
So it's a shame.
Just before we go, Detroit's iconic Dutch Girl Donuts giving customers a first look at its second location is going to be here in the New Center area because Friday is National Donut Day. The new shop located on East Grand Boulevard will open 8 o'clock to 10 a.m. for a special preview event. Visitors can receive 2 free donuts while supplies last, and prepackaged assorted dozen boxes will be available for purchase. Owner Patty Lynch says the event is a way to celebrate Detroit traditions and thank loyal customers for their support. They're going to have Dutch
What time
Girl,
are they opening?
8 o'clock.
All right.
8
So
a.m.
We're sending
on
somebody
Friday.
down there.
Absolutely.
We're going to send somebody down. Brian, you turned your mic on and then off real quick.
I don't want to be volunteered to run to the donut shop. That's all.
I'll do it.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Jason's going.
All right, all right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Done. We'll send
Everybody's-
somebody down.
Everybody's diet in the New Center area is going to hell in a handbasket.
Everybody what?
Everybody's diet. It's going to be going in. hell in a-
Sure. Yeah.
'Cause
It's
you
a
got
real
Dutch
problem.
Girl in the New Center? Are you kidding?
It's a regional problem now, unfortunately. Yeah.
I do feel like we don't get enough donuts in our diet around here.
Yeah. Why is that?
We're donut
Not-
deficient.
Yeah.
Or division. Something that the DHS is looking at. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you the latest on the conversations, the negotiations between the United States and Iran. It's next on JR Morning.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text now to 797-979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text now to 797-979 for a link to your exclusive offer. Text now to 797-979. That's now to 797-979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
It's Jamie Edmonds. There's nothing like a day at the ballpark with the Detroit Tigers. The roar of the crowd, the smell of fresh cut grass, and now the taste of something truly special. Introducing Detroit's Grand Slam ice cream from Guernsey Farms Dairy, proud partner of the Tigers. Made with rich, creamy goodness and packed with hometown flavor, it's the perfect way to celebrate every inning, every hit, every home run. Heading to the game, make sure to grab a scoop of Guernsey right at the park during every Tigers game, because baseball isn't just America's favorite pastime, it's even better with America's favorite treat. Cool off, treat yourself, and make every Tigers moment a little sweeter with Guernsey Farms Dairy. Guernsey Farms Dairy and the Detroit Tigers teaming up to knock it out of the park.
Quality that's delicious, that's the Guernsey difference.
There's a place where mornings begin with coffee on the world's longest front porch and evenings end with music under the stars. For 140 years, that place has been Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island. Join us in our 140th season as America celebrates 250 years for a summer of special events and new Grand American evenings each night, beginning after dinner with outdoor entertainment and patriotic celebration for all ages. Join us for a season to celebrate. Visit grandhotel.com or give us a call at 1-800-33-GRAND and mention code WJR2026 for 15% off our best available rate. Conditions apply.
This is Mark Snefkamp of the Snefkamp Automotive family. We've served Michigan customers for over 100 years. We opened our first dealership in 1926. 4 generations later, Snefkamp is still the name to trust when buying your next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. Visit us during the Make This the Summer Sales event happening now at one of our 4 locations: Highland Park, Gaylord, Midland, or Redford.
Snefkamp, Metro Detroit's original. Snefkamp, Snefkamp.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Capital One Bank. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. And most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Southbound 75 at 696, an accident there is off to the right shoulder, as well as on the southbound 75 ramp to eastbound 696. Westbound 696 after mound crash off to the right shoulder. Same story on westbound 94 at Little Mac. Also eastbound 94 between Little Mac and Harbor, left lane is closed until 7 p.m. on Friday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Could use some rain, none for the rest of the week until maybe Friday night. Rainfall deficit for the year, 3.23 inches. No rain without any clouds, right? Don't see any today. Lots of sunshine, 85. Tonight, mainly clear. Up a couple to the upper 50s to about 60 in town. Suburbs a bit cooler. Thursday, mostly sunny, breezy, 90. Friday, partial sun, 90, with showers coming in probably after midnight Friday night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, Marie Osborne will be in for me. I will be off participating in the Parkinson's Poker Run on Lake St. Clair. So we're doing a little bit of charity work tomorrow. Marie's got you covered from 2 to 4 right here on 760 WJR.
So Secretary of State Marco Rubio was on the Hill yesterday testifying to senators. Certainly the war on Iran, the main focus of conversation, and the negotiations that are ongoing. And he said a couple of things. A, the United States is not begging for a deal. And that was an interaction that he had in a back and forth with Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. And his point was, no, the United States is going to take whatever time they need to make sure that this is the right deal for the United States. He also said that Iran has kind of moved past some of the red lines that they had set, and they are willing to at least talk about their nuclear program. That's not enough for a deal to get done today.
No.
And so that's why the negotiations are ongoing. Fox News has been talking about this morning the relationship and the willingness of the Supreme leader Mustafa Khamenei to be engaged in these conversations more than he was previously. And Donald Trump says that they're at a much better relationship level now. I don't think they've talked directly, but through mediators, there is at least some movement in that. All the while, Iran has been taking military action against Iran, Kuwait, the United States. Let's get the latest. Jonathan Savage, our Fox News reporter and WJR contributor. Jonathan, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Let's talk about where we stand this morning. Obviously, the military actions from Iran yesterday, CENTCOM weighing in this morning, they were busy.
Yeah, very busy indeed. A lot of back and forth going on. The first thing I think that happened, it's hard to get the chronology quite correct, but we know that an Iranian oil tanker tried to breach the American blockade, and the U.S. Navy put a missile in its engine room when it refused to stop. We also know that the U.S. military targeted an Iranian ground control station on Keshem Island in the Strait of Hormuz. However, Iran retaliated. It says it went after the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain with missiles. Now, we're told that those missiles were intercepted, but an Iranian strike which did find the target was a drone attack on Kuwait's international airport. Don't know exactly why Kuwait's international airport was targeted, but this drone strike hit a passenger building, killing one person, causing damage, and flights were suspended. Flights are resuming from some terminals in Kuwait now, but it has had a major impact.
Jonathan, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has described the Iran nuclear talks as highly technical and potentially taking months. Can diplomacy realistically kind of keep pace when military events are unfolding like this almost daily?
it's quite difficult. I mean, because the Obama era nuclear deals took about 18 months to come together. So if we are looking for and expecting a comprehensive nuclear agreement between Iran and the United States quickly, that seems unlikely. What you might get is some sort of memorandum of understanding, some sort of interim deal, which would allow the United States to sort of pull back its posture somewhat, to allow the Strait of Hormuz to be opened and the blockade on Iran to be lifted while these technical talks take place. However, we haven't got to that stage yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that would feel like a bit of capitulation by the United States if they
Right.
get to that point, because they engage in military activity. Now we're on the diplomatic route, but if the straits get reopened, if the U.S. blockade gets pulled back, and there isn't a comprehensive deal, yes, it might help the economic shock. It might help the prices at the pump, but I don't know if politically that would play well for the president and his administration.
What you might then hear in that circumstance is the administration pointing to the named goals of Operation Epic Fury: destroying Iran's missiles, annihilating their navy, ensuring their terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then point 4, ensure Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. That would be the one that would be left to negotiations. And they may say, look, we have achieved enough of these goals to allow for a longer term ceasefire.
Right.
I know there's seemed to be a little tension between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu, understanding they had that phone conversation, got a little heated, I understand.
It certainly appears to have. Initially reported by Axios that on this phone call, President Trump swore at the Israeli Prime Minister, called him crazy, accused him of jeopardizing negotiations with Iran, and was very angry. Now, President Trump doesn't dispute the reporting in general. In a podcast interview this morning, he said he'd prefer to use the word perturbed rather than angry, but there's no doubt that he has frustration at Israel continuing to target Hezbollah, particularly in the Lebanese capital, Beirut, because that is causing Iran to be hesitant when it comes to negotiating.
Yeah, he also said in the podcast that he heard for the first time this conspiracy theory that Benjamin Netanyahu drugged the United States and drugged President Donald Trump into this war. He said, I heard that the other day for the first time. He said, they tricked me. I mean, I'm the one that started it because, again, I don't want to bore anybody, but I started it because we can't let them have a nuclear weapon. So it was an interesting conversation on this podcast.
Yeah, it was. He also said that he believes Iran's supreme leader is now involved one way or another in negotiations, and that he says that he will probably meet Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei at some point. Of course, we should remind ourselves that no one has seen the supreme leader since this conflict started.
Interesting stuff as always, Jonathan Savage. We appreciate your time and reporting as always. Thank you, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, you got it. Meanwhile, interesting, the high stakes race between OpenAI and Anthropic to go public first. Well, Anthropic has filed their IPO, and now starts the race.
Yes, it starts.
Now starts the race.
Clock is ticking.
I mean, you're talking about the influx of now trillions of dollars as these companies start to go public. It is really, really unbelievable.
It's huge. It's huge.
And just the sheer numbers, the sheer involvement, the sheer entrance into the market with an initial public offering from a company like Anthropic. And the companies that are going to be there again with them. But both of these companies are growing incredibly fast, but they're also burning a lot of money. Again, they're in the phase of investments, trial and error. They're in the building phase. And so as a result, they're spending a lot of money. And so the worry is, at what point are you going to run out of that money?
Yeah.
And if you run out too quickly, well, it's going to be really difficult to go back to some of these investors and say, I need more. Can I have more? I don't think that's going to work. And so, yeah, it's very interesting to me to see where these companies are going.
Well, it's a big deal. Everybody will be looking at it, and it's going to be a lot of money. A lot of money exchanged.
It's going to be a lot of money. And it's going to change the face of. It's going to change a lot of things, obviously, in the business world. It's going to change a lot of things in the labor market. But again, it's a dollars game. How much money is it going to cost businesses to utilize this technology as opposed to utilizing human labor? That at the end of the day is what it's going to be about.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
It's going to be very interesting.
It's all about the loot.
Coming up on the other side, Daniel Roberts joins us. The body of a missing nuclear lab worker has turned up. One of those missing scientists.
One of many.
We'll talk about it. It's next on JR Morning.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working.